It's the last morning.
Here we go.
Saturday morning here in Arizona.
Now it's time to get serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just been messing around all week.
Scouting all week.
Yeah. Scouting for today. It's only exciting if you wait till the last day to shoot them.
Yeah. Right? I mean, that's... You guys saw. That's how rifle season went this year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it came down to the end. But I think we got it figured out. Our game day decision. I'm going to head to the tank that I started at, where I saw those Coues does, or the Coues doe and the fawns. And I think you're going to head over here in the hills, right?
Yeah, I'm going to start here at camp. So we got some intel last night from the guys that were staying here. Thank you. And they saw a couple bucks right over here, so I'm going to slide over here and glass, and maybe I'll hop over to the other side and hit the other hills and glass, but yeah.
I think we can get in them. Got a good feeling about today.
I hope.
I hope. We'll see what happens.
Let's see. We'll see what happens.
We're going to get it moving here.
Yeah.
So, see
it's
ya.
Warm.
Yeah, it's warm. So, go get set up. Here he goes. I hope he gets on those bucks that those guys saw. So off he goes. I'm gonna go get into this tank.
Well, just dropped Garrett off. Now I'm headed back over where I'm gonna be glassing from. So yeah, hopefully I can turn up some deer. It's been a rough couple days, but you know, we're not really sure what happened. But it just like a light switch just flipped off, and all of a sudden we can't find any deer. But it seems not like we're not trying. So yeah, we're gonna get up here. I'm gonna glass for a little bit, and then we'll figure out what the game plan for this afternoon is. We might just be sitting where we're at if the action's good. So, but we're gonna try to make it happen. Last day. Here we go. Wow, we just got all set up here. Gonna sit here and glass this for a little while and see what we can turn up. Hopefully we can turn something up pretty nice and something we can make a move on. But got a beautiful sunrise coming up behind me. I'm probably getting drowned out by the sun behind me, but yeah, so we're gonna sit here and see what we can pick out.
I finally got set up. The wind's not great. It's doing some weird stuff here this morning. I don't know if it's just because it's warming up or what, but one minute I've got it in my face, next minute it's swirling and going that way. So I thought about moving over onto the tank itself. There's no real good place to set up on the tank right now because the water is really high. So you got a lot of like low-hanging branches. And unless you cut a whole bunch of branches, which I don't want to do, you know, there's really no good. I did kind of set up a little blind on the one little spot, but it has a horrible backdrop and it's real tight, you know, without having to sit up on the bank, which gets you up higher, which means you got to build the blind higher. This wasn't, and then the wind was doing weird stuff over there too, so yeah, like right now I got the wind in my face. Yeah. Right now it's going that way. 2 minutes ago it was. So I'm hoping that as the sun comes up and warms things up, it starts bringing more consistently this way. That would be ideal, but the tank would be, I really wish I could set up on the tank, because any deer moving through here are going to the tank. And that's what I have seen the first 2 days. There's does and the does and the fawns that I saw. You know, they either came through here and went to the tank, or they came from back over here behind me to the tank and then across or into here. So what would be ideal is if I can get a buck to come from that corner post over there and come right over towards me, because then I can just pop up. I got the blind built up pretty high, so it's like kind of like almost at like eye level here while sitting on a stool, which is nice because I can sit here with my bow, draw, and stand up in a crouch, kind of like a high crouch, and shoot just enough to get my arrow cleared off over the top of the blind. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's hope for this last morning we can get some luck. That would be ideal. At this point, it's all about luck. We'll see.
I just took a shot at a buck, a nice little Coues buck. I was just creeping down this edge of this wash, peeking down actually in the wash, and then out of the corner of my eye to my right, I catch a buck just head down, kind of just walking 30 yards. And we both spot each other at the same time. I knock an arrow. I was able to sidestep, and I got a gap in the trees. I saw it. It sounded like I hit him, and then my arrow flew. It blew through him because I saw the arrow pass him, and then he trotted off to my left a little bit. He kind of just stopped right up here. He appeared, but oh man, got a shot. I just really hope I hit him, and I hit him good. It was good. It was a very quarter and due shot. I'm trying to replay everything in my head right now. See if I can get it. Yeah, it was about 30 yards. Can't really get a good range. So the grass and then I get into the trees. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to creep over there and see if I can find my arrow.
Well, it's been an eventful morning so far. I got a text from Chris a little after 8 or so, I guess, saying that he got a shot on a buck at like 35 yards, and it sounded like it hit. And then a little while later, I look up and I got that doe and the two fawns, the Coues doe and the two fawns I've been seeing over here, just come across in the corner of the fence line over here, and working way behind the trees out over here. So that was really cool. I got to watch them again. They got spooked by a truck driving by, but they didn't take off. They kind of ran back in the trees and then went up to the tank and came out of the tank and fed again over there by the entrance, and then I just watched them run off. But while that was all happening, I was getting some more texts from Chris, and he found his arrow and it's covered in blood, which is always a good sign. And then a little while later, he had another text over from him of a cactus covered in blood. So it looks like he's got a really good hit on that buck, the Coues buck. So, and it's in an area that those guys told us they saw that buck in yesterday. I think they said they saw two, but the two guys that were camping with us for those 2 nights. So shout out to those guys. I mean, those guys were pretty cool, and they helped us out, and they really helped us out with this one, because Chris went there because they gave us that intel, and that, can't thank those guys enough. So Richard and Frank, thank you. That really paid off for us on the last day, so hopefully we can get this buck in hand. And I know they're having some good luck seeing some deer yesterday, mule deer, yesterday and today, and they moved to a different area, a different unit. So hopefully they can connect today or tomorrow on a nice mule deer buck down there. So, but yeah, Richard's got a YouTube channel and Instagram page, and I'll drop the links right here, and go check them out, subscribe to their channel, and check them, give them a follow on Instagram. We'd appreciate it if you did that, and I know they would too. So thanks again, guys. Now I'm just, while I sit here and wait for what Chris ends up doing, I think he might come get me, I'm not sure. Hopefully maybe we get a nice Coues buck come stepping in here for me. So really, I don't even care at this point. I'm just so excited that Chris got a shot on that buck. And
well, I found my arrow. It's covered in blood. So crazy. So I passed through him, and it must have skipped a ricochet and hit this and then went down the ground. But that Valkyrie broadhead did some damage. Got good blood all down the arrow. I think if I hit him solid, I hit him forward. Not really too sure, but decent Coues Buck. I didn't get a good look at his rack, but it was decent. Probably a good 4-point, 2x2. But I mean, I'll take it. Last day. Now the hard part. Now the sucky part. Waiting and then trying to blood drag him and see how good I hit. He took off pretty hard, but he only went about 40 yards, and then he kind of slowed down. So I'm hoping he's hit pretty hard, and he's just gonna go up here and bed down. I might go get Garrett and see if he wants to help me out with recovery, or just give it some time and then go pick him up and get back. So I don't know. We'll kind of wait and see what he wants to do. So that's 3 yards from where I shot him. So he went this way and just started spraying blood. Good sign. Good sign. I just walked back down to camp. Yeah, where I shot is probably 200-300 yards away from camp. So I backed out. Give it a little bit of time, but I mean, blood on the arrow, and yeah, so 8:30-ish is when I shot him. So, and it's almost 9 right now, so I'm gonna give it another half hour or so, and then I'll start creeping in there. But like I said, back there, good sign. Blood, nice solid blood on the arrow, pass through, and then good blood right there at the beginning. So he took off, like I said, hard for about 40 yards, and then he just kind of started to slow down. So sorry I didn't get it on film for you guys, but like I said, I was just creeping down that wash, like cliff edge, and I stopped, was looking, and out of the corner of my eye I just caught movement, and I just saw a head down with horns, and he stopped, I stopped, and we kind of saw each other at the same time. Luckily he didn't take off. He just stood there because he didn't know what I was. I was worried about the wind because it's kind of swirling a little bit up here on top every now and then, and I knocked an arrow. I was able to take like 2 side steps over, get a nice notch in the V of the tree, and put it right on him. I didn't even get a range on him, but I estimated a little over 30, so I put my 30 pin right on his back, and my 40 was, a little bit on it, like right on his belly, so it was kind of like the perfect gap, and I just took the shot. And like I said, I heard the pump, and saw the arrow pass through and skip over behind him, and then he took off. So I had a really good feeling I hit him. I just don't know exactly where I hit him. I think I kind of maybe hit him a little forward, which is not terrible because he was quartering 2. Pretty good. I was trying to hold tight on that shoulder. I was aiming for my exit, right? And those quartering 2s, that's what you try to do, is you got to aim where you want the arrow to come out. And so I was kind of holding a little bit more forward because of that. And I mean, these little Coues deer, they're not the strongest, they're not the biggest boned animals, so I was more than confident that my arrow was gonna hit hard, and it wasn't like I was gonna shoulder blade like if that happened on a big mule deer or an elk. I was pretty confident that my nice little heavy arrow setup and those Valkyrie broadheads would just blow right through it. So, but I'm gonna calm down, and I'm gonna, give it a little bit of time. And this cloud cover's kind of moved in and made it nice. It's supposed to be hot
hotter than it was yesterday, mid 70s, but this cloud cover is kind of keeping it nice and cool. But yeah, Garrett's got deer in front of him, so fingers crossed that he can get a buck to step in front of him too. So that'd be nice if we can double up on the last day. But never give up. We were down in the dumps the last couple days. Not gonna lie, it was pretty frustrating. We haven't seen any deer, and then it could just happen like that. It only takes one little scenario to flip it all around. So, all right, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna drink some water, and then I'll go back out there.
Well, Chris just rolled up, so I'm gonna walk out there to the truck and let's go see if we can find us a deer. Oh man, I'm excited. Dude, man, I am like doing cartwheels.
Dude, you know how I get.
Yeah.
Dude, I was like shaking.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then like you're like, don't go get him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, go back to camp. Like I started breaking camp because I had to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, broke my cot down, packed my bags, like made sure I had my license, get the pin, like.
Yeah. Well, let me put my stuff in here and we'll go look. Dude.
I don't even know how big he is.
Who cares?
I just saw horns.
And it'd be your first Coues buck.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. And I didn't shoot him over water.
Nope.
I didn't really spot and stalk him. We kind of ran into each other. But hey, I'll take it.
Man, I'm so excited.
Oh dude, it was
Probably pretty epic.
It was nice. It was awesome.
And I saw deer.
Eh?
Yeah, it was that doe and those two fawns again. I got like watched them for like 10 minutes.
You should name them.
Yeah.
They're like your pets.
Sally, Sue, and Sam.
Yeah. We'll keep that one gender neutral in case it is a buck. Fawn.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
I was just walking that cliff edge, right? Just peeking down inside. Like, I didn't even have my camera or nothing. I had my GoPro with me.
Yeah.
And my bow. That's it. And
That's
I was just like, I'm glassing, looking down in, and then out of the corner of my eye, I just caught movement coming at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then I like, oh shit. And like I turned, and then he saw me. Like we saw each other at the same time. And he picked his head up and was like, and then I had a tree in front of me, and I was like, okay. And then, but I was looking, and the grass was like kind of blowing and like pushing towards him, and I was like, no, don't do this.
Don't do this to me.
And so I knocked an arrow, and like I could see he had horns because I like when he had his head down when I saw him, like I could just see.
Antlers.
I mean, he has a left antler. I don't know if he has a right antler.
Well,
but he has a left antler.
He's legal.
And so I knocked an arrow, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, if he just kind of like does his thing and keeps walking, he'll step out in front of me 25 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, perfect. And I'm like, okay, he's like 30, 35 right now. And I was like, well, wait, let's see. I was like, can I fit it through this little like triangle? And I'm like, no. I was like, but that one I can. And so I took like 3 side steps to the left, and I had him perfect, like hard 1/4 like 1/4 pretty good. But I was like, all right. And I drew, and when I drew, he kind of was like picked his head up, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And I just settled. I put my 30 pin right at the top of his back, and my 40 was like right at his belly. I just gapped it, and I put it right on his front shoulder, hoping that it's gonna exit right behind that last rib. And I was shaking. I was like, and I just kept squeeze, and then I just hear, I picture my arrow like just, and I heard, and then I see the arrow behind it and skip way up in the air.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, yeah. But you know what your first thought is like, oh man, did I pull it in front of him?
Yeah.
Because I think I hit left. So I think I hit like right here, or even like here, and went out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think so.
Well, hopefully we can.
But the first shot, my first thought is like, I missed. But I was like, no, I heard the thud.
Yeah. The
Know?
thwack.
And it's like, okay. And then he took off, and he took off kind of hard for like 20 yards, and then he stopped and like started like trotting, just and like his tail wasn't even fully up. It was only like half up, and he just like started trotting, and then he disappeared in the brush, trotting away, like slowing down. And so I'm like, I either hit him hard and he's hurt, or what, I don't know. And then he obviously doesn't know what, I don't think he knows what really happened.
My picture was a lot of blood.
So then I went over and I found his tracks where he was standing, right?
Yeah.
Took a well glance like right there, and I didn't see nothing. So then I put my bow down, and then I just started gridding a little bit, like trying to figure out where my arrow went, because my arrow like hit him, and I think it hit the ground behind him, and then went like skyrocketed in there, like yours did.
Same thing mine did last year.
And then, like that picture I sent you, that's how the arrow's sitting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, you
like
remember
almost straight vertical.
You remember how mine was? It went over a berm.
Yeah.
Skipped over a berm.
Yeah. And then so when I saw all that blood in the arrow, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm still like, okay, well, even like a meaty hit will show blood like that, you know? I mean, it didn't have like, whatever, right? And then when I went back over to where my bow was, I took a quick all I was going to do is like 10-yard circle, like trying to find blood. And then I found that cactus with all that blood sprayed on it, and that's like from here to the front of my hood.
That's good.
So, like, as soon as he went to take a step, it probably just shot out. And so I'm like, and then at that point, I was like, nope, back out.
Yep.
I glassed like the direction he went in case he just piled up 40 yards in front of me or something.
Yeah.
But I just like, nope. I mean, I'm not going to see him in that tall grass anyways if he's laying down.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope, back out, go to camp, do all the things. So
let's go do it. Let's go see if we can find them.
Yeah.
Shooting deer from camp.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
No. Yeah. No. Got real lucky. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I mean, hunting sometimes just comes down to luck and being in the right place at the right time. And that's basically what it came down to. I mean, we just ran into each other.
Yep.
So.
And a hot tip.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Because I would have been doing something weird today if I'd not just sat here. So. Alright, well, it's been about an hour and a half. Since I shot, almost an hour and a half. But went and picked up Garrett, and he's going to come help me track this guy and hopefully recover him. So I'm going to take him up, show him where I shot and what everything was happening, show him the arrow and stuff, and then we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he's just piled up 50, 60 yards right there in front. So but we'll see. All right, here we go. Yeah, I shot right here and shot through this gap of the trees.
Uh-huh.
Like, are you standing where he was?
Yeah, there's tracks right here. There's tracks right here. Blood right here.
I mean,
that's a covered arrow. Some meat on there.
That's
good.
Yeah,
that's good.
good sign, right?
Yeah. That looks good. Yeah, there's some tracks right there for sure. There's blood right back there.
Blood right there.
Yep. There's a lot of blood right there. More blood right here. See that blood right here? On the ground.
Oh, right there?
Yeah, right here.
Oh. Dude, you have better eyes than I do.
And there's blood right there.
I'm styling the trap.
And there's a pile of blood right here.
Oh, you smell that?
And that deer that's laying over there.
Dude! Didn't even go 40, 50 yards?
No.
Yes! Good buck!
Blood all the way to him. That's a good buck, man. Can you smell that? You mean that buck right there? Yes! That's a nice buck, man. Nice buck. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Your first Coues Deer Buck, huh?
Yeah. First deer with a bow in 13 years,
Nice.
14
Man,
years.
That is a great Coues buck.
Oh,
That is a beautiful
I'll
buck.
take him all day, every day. He's a good buck. I mean, he's got a brow tine
Yeah.
on this side. He wanted to go to a third on this one. I bet you
That's a nice buck, man.
with last year's drought and stuff, and then affecting this year, I mean, it just didn't get big. But I mean, I'll take him all day, every day.
Yep, that's dude.
Yes.
Congratulations. Success in Arizona
Thank you,
on
buddy.
the last day.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, and I made a killer shot. Oh, I'm so happy about that shot.
Yeah. Nice frontal shot. Right there in the front.
So I told you I was holding right in this line.
Yeah.
I was holding right here, maybe hit, a couple inches left. But
Yeah. And this is a great buck.
he's no record book, but he sure is a trophy to me. As hard as these things are to shoot and hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I smoked his heart.
Yeah. For sure. Look at that exit wound right there.
Perfect.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better shot. This is why you practice.
We got him. I'll tell you what. It's bittersweet. So, I mean, as you guys saw in Oregon, I shot that deer that we weren't able to recover, and so, when that happens to you, sometimes you just get down on yourself and you start questioning your abilities and everything like that. But I just kept continuing going to the range and practicing and stuff, and then it feels good when you get success. I made a perfect shot on this deer. He didn't even go 40 yards. He was probably dead on his feet running, and yeah, he died within a minute or two of shooting him. I mean, he real quick and clean, and everything like that. Great buck. I mean, we don't hunt for trophies. We hunt for the meat. And this guy, they're not the biggest deer in the world, but he's definitely gonna be one that fills the freezer and does good for us. So, yeah, I can't ask for anything better. If me and Garrett were just talking, if we could have recovered that deer in Oregon, I mean, that would have been 3 bucks in 3 states that I got. And so it's like awesome, just awesome. Got a good buck down in California, and now got one in Arizona on our last day, and I got on the last day of the season in California too. So maybe that's my thing now. It's last day deer. So, but awesome deer. I'm just glad he gave me the opportunity to get a nice well-aimed shot on him, and just glad it happened. Made it all work. But all right, hurry up. We need to hurry up and process this guy and get him taken care of, and that way we can get back out there and see if we can get Garrett one. Official.
Well, don't need this on anymore.
No, you don't. Don't lose it.
No.
This is the second deer that Chris has fireman's carried out of the woods. It's a long walk back to camp.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's ready to end the trip right there. The joys of packing up camp. Got a yard sale going on. All his stuff, all my stuff. What a mess. Ready, cut.
Alright.
Action.
I don't even know how to start.
Alright, well, that's a wrap for Arizona.
Yep.
So we decided we would just kind of, instead of me going back and sitting in that tank that I was at this morning, we would just pack up camp, get everything situated, and work our way out slow and see if we bump something, from the trail, and then put a plan on something if it popped up. But that didn't happen, and it's just, I was just kind of the opinion, let's just work our way out of here, head to the Tucson. We have a hotel tonight, so we can get cleaned up, and then I have my flight tomorrow morning, and we'll drive back to California. But I was like, well, let's just call it. And the wind's not great for where I was planning on hunting, and instead of trying to figure something new out for the last afternoon, we go get cleaned up and get a nice dinner tonight, and just kind of relax, download video, and and all that kind of stuff. So that's where we're at.
But I mean, it was a good trip overall.
It was great.
I mean, can't complain at all. We saw a bunch of deer. We did have a couple slow days, but that's gonna happen, and it is what it is. I mean, but we didn't let it beat us. We still kept pushing, kept going after it and everything like that, and it paid off in the end. I mean, just never give up and never give in. So, but like I said earlier, it only takes one to flip the whole thing around. And
like we said yesterday, the luck, right?
yeah,
Luck plays a huge part in hunting, and
yes.
today
Being in the right place at the right time.
Today luck was on our side, and it happened. I mean, I saw some deer this morning. They weren't shooters, but I saw some. That's always fun. But this 2 years in a row we came out here, we had a great time. This is a great place to hunt. We're just, extremely fortunate that last year on our first trip, I was able to get a Coues deer, my first, and then this year come out here and Chris was able to get his first Coues deer. I think that's a huge accomplishment for us to come out 2 years in a row, punch Coues deer tags with our bows, and out here in Arizona, and we're still extremely novice at this.
Oh yeah.
Doing this out here in Arizona. So looking forward to a lot more opportunities out here.
Oh yeah. We'll be back next year.
So we're gonna get on the road up to Tucson and get cleaned up. But we appreciate you guys following along on today's episode. If you haven't checked the whole series out, go back, watch the rest of the series. We had a lot of fun, and there's some good content there. And as always, some close calls. So we've got a lot of animals on the video, so you want to check that out. And then make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it if you did. And then give us a like, drop a comment, let us know what you think. And if you haven't seen the rest of our stuff, go back and check it out, because there's some awesome content from our Oregon series, our Weekend Warrior series, which was our deer hunting for the normal season for 2021. And then check out our Field to Table series and our informational series. Lots of great stuff. As always, thanks guys.